Does anybody know what Albert Einstein said about the future of the human race, like how we would know when the human race was going to end? Anybody? Nobody? Any of you guys? Yeah. You guys have heard it too many times, right? Albert Einstein said that if you want to know what the fate of the human race is, look at the bumblebees. And when the bees start to disappear, the human race has 4 years left. Bees are disappearing. They've even got a Walt Disney movie, isn't it? A Walt Disney movie or a DreamWorks movie about the bees disappearing, the bee movie. Bees are disappearing on 4 out of 5 continents right now. And it's been attributed to global warming, pesticides, pestilence, this, that, the other. Has nothing to do with that. Do you know what it's to do with? Bees have a substance called magnetite, which happens to be a very relatively rare substance. We just, I'll tell you guys what you're sitting on right now in a second, but magnetite, humans have it in their brain, reptiles have it in their stomach, birds have it in their beaks, bees have it in their bellies, in their gastrointestinal tract. And the magnetite allows them to orient themselves to the Earth's magnetic grids so they can find direction. But because of all the ambient radiation, it throws off the magnetic grids and their orientation, so they can't line up with the Earth's magnetic grids, and they can't find their way back to the beehive. Homing pigeons. Used to be 85% of the birds that were set off on these races. You know, they're going 600, 700, 800 miles in these races. 85% would make it back home. 15% attrition. Birds of prey, you know, getting caught up in a plane engine or getting hit by something, whatever it was. 15% wouldn't make it back. 85% made it back. Now, 85% of the birds don't make it back. Only 15% make it to their destination. Now, it's kind of interesting what Einstein said, because the bees are disappearing since 2008. Does anybody know what's supposed to happen in 2012? Huh? 4 years. Human race has 4 years. Does anybody know what's supposed to happen in 2012 besides you guys back there? Huh? Rapture? What's rapture? What does that mean? Okay, okay. Armageddon, okay. Somebody said Armageddon 2012. The magnetic poles are supposed to shift and flip. So North Pole becomes South Pole becomes North Pole, huge tsunamis, and the crust is going to change it. This happens to be the Egyptian calendar, the Peruvian calendar, the Aztec calendar, the Mayan calendar. They all happen to end in 2012. Now, does that mean that the planet's going to end in 2012? I believe it's more, I think that there's going to be a great awakening, there's going to be a big change. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no inner knowledge. But the point that I'm making is that the collective consciousness is getting to the point that it is no longer tolerating the garbage that we're being fed by the political system, by doctor. How many of you trust a regular doctor? Okay. You said you came here to check me out. How many people used to check out their doctors 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Do you trust your doctor? I mean, the one that you're going to maybe now, but would you trust a regular doctor? No. Okay, the average patient that comes to us has seen 9 doctors. So the point that I'm making is not the doctors are bad or the government's bad or this or that. I'm just saying that the collective consciousness is becoming more aware of all the inadequacies, all the things. If somebody says, don't worry, the government's going to take care of you, would you believe that? How many people do you think would really believe that?
Before the bailout or after the bailout?
I saw a great plan for the bailout. They said it's whatever the $700 billion was. This guy said, okay, the population of the United States is 300 million. And you take all the adults and whatever, he came up with a formula, so it's only the adults over the age of 12 or something. He said, now if you take that $700 billion and you give it to everybody, it came out to like $465,000. Almost $500,000 to everybody. He said, you give it to everybody, there's no economic issue anymore. There's no bailout necessary. We're not in a recession anymore. And you know what? That's a much better plan than to give these businesses $700 billion. Did anybody try to bail you guys out? Is anybody bailing us out of our problems? You see, so the intolerance. Why did Obama get elected? He's a Democrat. I'm a diehard Republican. Even I voted for him. Because the public no longer is tolerating garbage. And Obama is a powerful speaker, and let's hope that God gives him the ability to do what he needs to do. But change, that's exactly what it is. People are no longer tolerating. You can't pull the wool over people's eyes. I'll give you a quick test. If I said, the pharmaceutical industries are there to protect you for your health interests. Why are you guys laughing, huh? Look, I got two people looking down and laughing. How many people, if I said this in a crowd of 100,000 people, how many people do you think sincerely would believe that? I think that probably 10% probably would, but they're the 10% that truly have their head stuck in the sand right now.
I think they've got dependent on it, that they don't believe that pharmaceuticals will help them, but they need them.
But they need them, right. That's true. Or